The world in the last 100 years has seen a dramatic change in the way some people can make their living, and in recent years a new job has arose seemingly out of nowhere. With the rise of social media, we have seen its rise in stars, its influencers. Whether you're fans of how they make their money or not, one thing's for sure, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. But how did it start? How did this line of work become a reality? For this we have to travel back to the 1900s to a small town in Germany called Herzogenaurach. Herzogenaurach was home to the Dassler brothers, Adi and Rudolf. These two brothers ran a shoe shop out of their mum's laundry shop. They started making shoes after the aftermath of World War I, where Germany took a lot of the blame for the war, which meant the country went into hyperinflation. The German population became very poor. Adi, out of necessity, started making shoes and was careful which materials he used to make them. Because even if people couldn't afford to pay for clean clothes, they would always need a good set of sturdy shoes. After 3 years, Adi's shoemaking company had grown so well that he got his brother Rudolf on board. Rudolf would be in charge of the running of the business while Adi made the shoes. They called their company Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. Their running and football shoes became very popular with athletes. The run of the company was going very smoothly until Adi met a 16-year-old girl called Kath, who he soon falls in love with. This would have been all fine until she wanted to be part of the company, which Rudolf did not like. How could a 16-year-old know anything about running a company? From 1933, the brothers' relationship started to decline. In 1936, it was the Olympic Games in Berlin, otherwise known as the Nazi Olympic Games. By this point, the brothers had become part of the Nazi Party so their business could operate under Hitler's regime. Being part of the Nazi regime should have meant that you stuck to the awful ideologies of the Nazi Party. However, Adi and his friend, the German coach, decided they'd give their shoes to as many athletes as possible, including African-American sprinter Jesse Owens, even if it came back with backlash from the Nazi Party. Jesse Owens was so impressed by the shoes that he said he'd wear those shoes or no shoes at all. Jesse Owens won the 100 meters, 200 meters relay and long jump and became an Olympic superstar. He did all this while wearing the brothers' shoes. A risky but great advertising strategy from the brothers, which gives the company a huge boost. During the Second World War, Rudolf gets drafted in and the company has to stop making the sports shoes and only make things essential for the war. After the war, the brothers' feud heated up and by 1948 the brothers' company was split into two. Adi and his wife formed the company Adidas and Rudolf formed his company Puma. They each had one side of the riverbank in their town. The two offered their workers a choice of who they worked for. Adi and his company became the shoemaker of the nation, and Germany, while wearing Adidas, win the 1954 World Cup out of the blue. From then on, the famous three stripes was a well-known brand. To add to this, Adidas up until the 60s was the world's biggest sports brand. They dominated the competition with no other company even challenging them, except for Puma on the other side of the town. The competition between the companies even led to rumoured espionage and bugging of telephones. 1968 Olympics is the pivotal moment in history where the possibilities of an influencer became possible. At this time, athletes were amateurs who didn't have management teams and sponsors like they do today. Puma and Adidas would soon change that. Both Puma and Adidas athletes came to the Olympic Games with the top sporting gear and bags of cash. The cash bribe to wear the sports brand at the time was actually illegal, but today it was a revolutionary move by the two brothers and their companies. All these influencers we see today can thank the rivalry of two brothers, Adi and Rudolf, for their careers being possible. In terms of the two brothers, they hated each other till death, and even when Rudolf died in 1974, Adi did not attend his funeral. They passed their rivalry down to their two sons. Today, Puma and Adidas both still operate out of Herzogenaurach and are still two of the biggest sports brands globally. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and why not share it on social media. Tell us in the comment section what question you want answered next. If you're new to the channel, why not click that subscribe button for more interesting videos every week. If you're subscribed and awesome like that, make sure you also have that bell button clicked so you never miss a new video. And come back next time when you've got questions.